Well, hey guys, and welcome back to the Britain side of the 7 Years' War campaign. Britain 2, Britain Strikes Back. Fight for our British interests in the New World. You are the commander of the fortress and its garrison. Your task is to build up Fort Necessity at the foot of Lauren Ridge. So, just like the previous campaign, in this campaign the voice commentary is pre-recorded because I forgot to record my voice while I was playing the game, so yeah, just letting you know.
Clearly outstripping their adversary, the French built a number of forts south of the Great Lakes and in the valley of the Ohio River. Hearing of this, the British dispatched Washington to that region. Washington was to deliver a letter demanding that the French leave the region and to thoroughly reconnoiter the enemy fortifications and their approaches. His mission was a failure, and in 1754, the British began building a fort at the junction where the Allegheny and the Monongahela form the Ohio River. But the French troops soon arrived and drove them out, completing the fortification and renaming it Fort Duquesne. In May, Fort Duquesne was manned by about 1,400 regular troops and militiamen. Additionally, most Native American tribes supported the French because they developed new territories and set up farms and towns only in the St. Lawrence Valley. The forts, located in the region of the Great Lakes and the Ohio River Valley, traded with the natives and neither oppressed nor destroyed their peaceful settlements. Washington realized that the presence of a British fort in that region would serve a major political purpose and could become a bridgehead for the troops. Shortly after, he attacked the escort of a French envoy carrying a letter which offered the British a truce, provided they refrained from invading the territories controlled by Fort Duquesne. This was one of the incidents which resulted in the 7 Years' War and in 2 decades of hostility to Washington's policy. The event brought forth indignation, first in Canada and later in France. Parisian newspapers called Washington a murderer and demanded vengeance.
Anyway, so this mission is also pretty difficult, just like the first one, because the natives attack you at all times. So yeah, the primary objective of the British colonies in North America is to cultivate and develop the new lands. It has been decided to build a new frontier fort at a strategically advantageous point at the foot of Lauren Ridge, which is there, somewhere there around. Build up a settlement and start mining. Reach the open zone and construct a fort and 2 log cabins. So yeah, I put these this infantry squad into a line just so it would protect my peasants, and I just split the peasants to gather food and wood. But yeah, I think I restarted this mission a couple times, so yeah, it's just so difficult. Your scouts have spotted a French squad. This is a great opportunity to increase your power by taking prisoners. Intercept the squad and... didn't have time to read it. Anyway, so that squad of Frenchers... Oh my god, see? My mill is already destroyed, so I think that's where I restarted, because I was thinking, you know what, screw this, I'm not gonna sacrifice my mill like that. But yeah, that French squad that we saw previously, in the story we heard that the narrator said that the British actually attacked that squad to gain some power, and coincidentally that French squad was bringing his message of peace offering. So yeah, because the British killed that French squad, the French took it as pretty much as an act of insult. So they yeah, they decided that it's war, and it was the beginning of the 7 Years' War. Anyway, my mill got destroyed again, but I think I didn't restart this time. I decided to just build the mill all over again. And I couldn't build it in the same place because the game kind of cheated, because the mill was built on the river, which you're not supposed to do that. But yeah, my storehouse was destroyed as well, which is funny. But yeah, I'm telling you, this mission it's not that difficult if you know what you're doing, but it's just pretty annoying. and it takes time because you need to destroy a bunch of villages in between our main headquarters and where we need to build that fortress with log cabins. So yeah, my village is just getting captured all the time. Yeah, it sucks. But what I did there is build a blacksmith just in front of my storehouse, so I could put some peasants into the blacksmith and it would protect it from the natives. And then I built a town center there in front of a mill as well, just to protect it. And then later on, yeah, see these guys just capturing all of my peasants, which sucks. So later on I'll build, I think, a church in front of these dwellings just to protect those peasants too. But yeah, not much else. Oh yeah, so I was building mines here, and in this mission, coal is very important because you run out of coal real fast. And then iron is pretty important too, because you run out of that pretty soon as well. And then gold, you need gold for all the upgrades, so gold is really important. And then stone, you get 2 stone mines, and you barely use stone really, so don't really bother with upgrading the stone mines that much. But yeah, and then there's, yeah, I was looking at the upgrade which reveals the location of all the mine deposits, and don't get that upgrade in this mission because it's pretty useless. All the mines are just behind your main headquarters. I think there's a mine somewhere in the map that's not here, but it's very far away and it's surrounded by natives, so there's no point building a mine there. But yeah, I was getting a surplus of peasants, so I was just sending them to gather resources. And I won't be recruiting units for a while, even though it's advisable to recruit them quite fast, but I just couldn't because, you know, it requires gold, coal and stuff, and as you can see, my coal resources at 0 right now, and gold is like 600, so yeah. Also that French squad that's roaming around, you should intercept that squad as soon as you can. I made a mistake in this campaign and didn't intercept it, and then it just ran away, and I failed the mission. But yeah, yeah, if you do it straight away, that's good. I was planning on intercepting it, but I wanted to keep all my cavalry and all my units protecting my peasants, because later on you'll see that even my mines, which are like pretty protected, I'd say, even those got destroyed, so yeah. But later on I was making some cavalry just to you know, form a squad and attack those guys. And then it was a bit too late. Well, not really too late, but the French squad right now is quite in the open, so it's very easy to attack them. I made a mistake of waiting until they went into the native village, and then it was quite hard to actually attack them. But yeah. So yeah, I was just making a bunch of peasants and putting these units around everywhere. Yeah, the top mine got destroyed. So see, that's why I kept all these units around, so I could protect them. Yeah, and I was just upgrading the mines and making all other sorts of upgrades. Yeah, the blacksmith upgrades were almost done, and then I was just making more upgrades in the town center. Yeah, don't really remember what. Oh yeah, I wanted to make the cavalry to intercept the French squad, but I was lacking, I think, gold and stone. And that was the only time I actually was lacking stone. Other than that, you have plenty of stone, so don't worry too much about it, like I said. So yeah, here I was building the church just to protect these peasants that were coming out of the dwellings, and upgrading the mines. I upgraded the stone mines just to like the next level. and then it didn't go beyond that. But I focused mostly on coal, a little bit on gold, and well, a lot on gold later on, and then a little bit on iron. Because right now I had plenty of iron, but later on, I think when I was building cannons, I was running out of iron, so then I started upgrading the mines for that as well. So yeah, so pretty much now that I got settled in, and I have some units protecting my peasants and whatnot, my buildings are garrisoned, then this mission becomes quite easy. It's just time consuming. It took me like 50 minutes to do this mission. It would have taken less if I didn't have to restart a few times, but yeah, it's just you need to, because you need to destroy, well, you don't really have to destroy all the buildings in between your headquarters and where you need to build a fort, but it's advisable because otherwise your fort and log cabins might get easily destroyed. So yeah, and to destroy those buildings you need to build some cannons, and it's not as easy to destroy those buildings or capture those buildings as it is in the Spanish campaigns, because the conquistadors, the Spanish conquistadors, or whatever you call them, I think it's conquistadors, they're really tough, and they're really easy to make and very cheap to make as well, so you just spam them and then capture all the buildings. But in the British campaign, and I'm sure in the French campaign as well, you can only make the musketeers, because this is like, what, 200 years later or something like that from the Columbus campaign, and maybe 100 years later from Pizarro's campaign, or something like that. I don't know, I forgot the times. But yeah, so they didn't really use those pikemen and whatnot anymore. It was more of a musket, Napoleonic War type of weaponry. But yeah, here I was trying to build a mill there on the river, but like I said, the game was cheating because you're not allowed to build it there, but it was pre-built. Although it makes sense because the mills have those water spinning wheel thingies, so it makes sense that they would be built on the river. And yeah, as you could see there, I was kind of worried about the French squad because they were getting into these native villages, which would make it hard for me to actually attack them. And here I did a good thing by saving my game, because as I continued with this game, the French squad just ran away. I did kill a little bit of them, but I didn't have enough troops, didn't have enough cavalry to kill all of them, or most of them anyway. You didn't have to kill all of them, but yeah, anyway, then I had to restart the game, and luckily I had that save game, so I just loaded from there. But yeah, I guess I can skip a little bit. So here I started making some cavalry to intercept that French squad, and yeah, it didn't work out because, well, as you will be able to see in a couple of minutes, I sent a squad and like half of them got eliminated before I could even kill like one of their troops. And then by the time I made enough cavalry to intercept them again, it was too late because they just escaped. So yeah, I was sending the cavalry now, and I think, oh yeah, there was a village in front there as well, so I had to move around. The cavalry units are pretty tough actually, but well, like, they're tough against the natives, but not against the muskets. So I had 12 of them and already 9, 8, 7, 5. Yeah, and then they all died. I failed to kill all of them. So yeah. So here I got 2 notifications. The French squad escaped, but for some reason the first notification I got was that I apparently destroyed the squad. So unfortunately, the French squad you defeated was escorting an envoy who had been sent to offer you a peace agreement. The French command is deeply offended by your attitude to their diplomatic mission. War with France is now inevitable. Fortify your borders immediately. And I guess that was a bug in the game, because now it says you have missed the French squad. Your superiors no longer trust you and have decided to relieve you of your command. So yeah. So here I started attacking their village. I made a few cannons. I used cavalry to scout the map out so I could shoot at cannons from the range. And here some of the mines that I had were destroyed. But yeah, anyway, so pretty much from this point on, all I did was make more troops to support the ones I had here, and just destroy the buildings, destroy the native buildings on the way to the river lodge, or whatever it was called, ridge. Yeah, I don't need many cannons. I only had maybe like 2 at the start, and then the ones I had were getting damaged. I were building more, but I was pretty much just upgrading the cannon range, accuracy, and rate of fire. That helped a lot. And yeah, my gold mine got destroyed here, and I tried to rebuild it, but it didn't work. That was pretty scary, because I thought that I would need gold, like much more gold for the rest of the game, just to, you know, in case my cannons would get destroyed, I would need to, I think it uses gold to build more cannons, but fortunately the cannons that I had so far, they didn't get destroyed, so I was able to finish the mission successfully. But yeah, I was just trying with every single peasant to build that mine, and it didn't work. And then I thought, hey, there's a native guy there, maybe that guy is preventing me from building the gold mine, because, you know, enemy is like at a close proximity to where I want to build a building, because in some games that's what happens, like in Stronghold, if the enemy is nearby you cannot build any buildings or repair any walls or anything like that. But unfortunately, after I killed that enemy unit, I still couldn't build a gold mine. But yeah, anyway, so I had more cannons here. I was just bringing them down to destroy these buildings, and I guess I'll skip a little bit more because it's just same thing after same thing. So here I started to destroy the buildings in the place where I needed to build a fort, and on the right, oh yeah, there's lots of Indians there, lots of Native Americans, but they were just sitting there, they weren't doing anything. But yeah, on the right of the map, as you can see now, I already had some peasants there waiting to build the fort, and then 2 lodgings, or 2 wood logs, wherever you call them. Yeah, and then the mission was over. So from here on, all I had to do was just defend my peasants, and I don't think, did I send? Oh yeah, I sent a few peasants to the fort, just so I could destroy the last of those buildings, because I thought that maybe you had to destroy them before the mission would be over. But I tried to do that, and the fort wasn't shooting those buildings, it was just shooting a bunch of natives all around instead. But luckily the mission was over anyway, so I was just checking if I'm doing the right thing, if I'm accomplishing the objectives, and I was seeing that some of my peasants were dying, so I decided to send some more, but the mission was over before they even came here. Yeah, just finishing the last lodging, or whatever you call it. And the mission should be over soon. Blockhouse. Well, in the description it says something different. Anyway, you have successfully fulfilled the plans of the British government. The fort you built has been named Necessity. You have exceeded all expectations. So yeah, and that's the end of the mission. So thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.